Today on Miniatorium we're going to unbox this little thing. So this big old box here, the Dungeons and Caverns core set from the Game Master line, courtesy of Army Painter, is basically a big box of all manner of terrain building goodness and tools and whatever you really need to start building your own dungeons especially, but also other terrain, which I'm going to unbox today and give my sort of initial impressions and thoughts and whether or not I think it's if it's a worthwhile product, especially for the newcomer to terrain building like me. I've always been interested in starting to build my own terrain, and I was looking very much forward to this product from Army Painter, as it's the core set, as you can see, and it's supposedly filled to the brim with all manner of terrain building goodness, everything you need to start building your own terrain in one box. So I think let's go through it, and I'll give you my initial impressions and thoughts and off the cuff review, if you will, on the contents, and see if it actually holds up to its promise of being a good starter box for your terrain building needs. So with no further ado, let's get down to the table and have a look. Okay, let's get the show on the road, and here we have the big old box. As you can see, it's a hefty beast, and pardon all the glare, as I haven't even removed the shrink wrap yet. Here we see the back of the box with all its contents displayed for us. Let's get this. There we have it. Game Master in Search of Adventure. Endless hours of adventure await you. Really brilliant. Let's see what sort of adventures awaits us. Now that's a lot of stuff. Okay, we got some packaging. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, so we have a painting guide, a little congratulation note. Oh, there's a free effect brush and a crypt upgrade kit. Neat. So there's actually additional content in this box. Excellent. And here's a how to build instruction manual, if you will, with some suggestions on how to paint, cut, and whatnot. Interesting. We'll have a closer look at this later. And let's see what do we have here. We have some sand, scenery sand, and some elastic bands, rubber bands. Let's see. We have Dungeon and Subterranean Terrain Primer, which is for XPS foam, styrofoam, MDF, and fiberboard. Now I normally prime everything with an airbrush, so that's not really of much interest to me, but I will do a review of it at some point. Oh, there's some terrain bits here. Neat. What's this? Well, we'll have a look at these later. So we have some tufts. Don't know what type of tuft. And we have now this I've been looking very much forward to. This is a hot wire cutter. Very simple design. So we get a box of paints and glue, I think. Some tools, a good box cutter, a great assortment of brushes, and a palette, always handy. Then you get the bigger bottles of the dungeon base in this case, and the cavern base. Good pile of styrofoam, or in this case the XPS foam. Unfortunately, as you can see, been a bit of an indent from the spray can, the rattle can from earlier. So you get 6 of these smaller sizes. Let's see what we have here. 2 larger pieces. Again, they've been dented and bruised because of the rattle can. Then we had the additional brush here, effect brush, a steel ruler, double-sided with inches on one side and centimeters on the other. Very nice. And some sandpaper. Grid 120, I think. And end of the box. And now with the box out of the way, I'll be right back and we'll have a closer look on all of the individual parts. So we have these, the boards. We'll get these out of the way because they throw off my white balance. It's white XPS styrofoam, which is very, very hard to come by here in Denmark. The XPS variant, and you get 6 that are almost 12 by 8 inches. That's 29.8 by 19.8 as well. Weird measurements, but you get 6 of these. Like I said, they had a small indentation because of the primer. And then you get these larger boards, and they are 15.5 inches by barely 12, or in centimeters if you prefer. Almost, it's 30 centimeters by 39. Okay, so let's get these out of the way. First up, let's go through the tools, well, most of the tools. So we have the ruler from before, a nice 12-inch by 30 centimeter ruler made of steel, very shiny and reflective, and very handy as well. And we have the sandpaper. It's sandpaper. While it's easily attainable in any hardware store, it's a good inclusion for this box. And then the star of the show in regards to tools for me, the hot wire cutter and baggie. So it comes in 2 parts. A battery compartment here, and I'm guessing this has to. Okay. This is the switch, on/off switch. And here's the wire. So upon here, it will connect. Once connected, this end will glow or get hot, and then you can cut through the foam. And here's a simple little pull to open. Well, it was already open. Oh, nice. I was wondering. There's some extra thread for the hot wire cutter. It has a tendency to break. I had one many moons ago. So that's very nice. And it looks like it needs D-cell batteries, I think. I might have some on hand. And then we get a little box with more tools. It's stapled. There. So we get a nice, simple palette, plastic. Does what it needs to do. Has 7 spaces and 2 large spaces. Get a standard box cutter and an assortment of brushes. So here we have the wash brush. It's a very elegant and simple synthetic brush for washes. There's a large dry brush. Very nice, stiff bristles, also synthetic. And I'm guessing, yes, a medium dry brush. I'm a bit surprised that they didn't include the Masterclass dry brushes, but this will do just fine. And because I got a special limited edition, I think, I don't know if it's limited edition, but I got a special edition. I also got this effect brush, which is also synthetic. And next we get a block of tufts. Usual quality, which is a high quality of barren, deserty tufts that the Army Painter makes. Very nice. As well as some scenery sand in a nice little container, which is basically grit. I think it's basically just grit. Also very good. Now let's see. As for the actual paints, alright, so we get some sculpting glue, XPS foam sculpting glue. It doesn't corrode, works perfectly with XPS and polystyrene, dries up transparent and smooth. Interesting. I wonder what the difference is between from this and regular PVA glue, but I guess the guide will show me. Then we have Brink Black. I'm guessing Matte black. Yeah, matches matte black, as you can see here. That's very nice. Good of them to include this. So Brink black. Dungeon effects. Matches matte white. See, we got cavern highlights. And does it match anything? It matches monster brown. And then we have dungeon highlights, which matches ash gray from the regular Warpaint series. Cavern effects, which matches cobalt skin. Cool. And grotto slime. I'm guessing there's a theme going on here. Grotto slime, and it matches disgusting slime. And finally, the subterranean wash, which matches the military shader. So it's basically rebranding to make it easier for newcomers of the regular war paints range. Very nice. What else in the box? Bit of the some commercial, the usual. Now, as you may have noticed, there was also 2 larger bottles, and I'll grab them right now. So we have the Cavern base. It matches werewolf fur, and the bottle size is 50 milliliters or 1.7 ounces. Cool. And there's a dungeon base. I'm guessing, yeah, dungeon gray, appropriately enough. Also a 50 millimeter bottle. This is perfect. I'm really looking forward to giving these a try. Well, I guess that's basically, oh yeah, the rattle can primer, Game Master Dungeon and Subterranean. Does it match? This should match with hardened carapace. It's not suited for miniatures. I'm guessing it's because it's a lot more fluid. Interesting. There's 300 milliliters of it, and it feels hefty, even though it's a small bottle. So apparently, because I pre-ordered it, I got this little thing. In your hands, you hold one of the very first Game Master Dungeons and Caverns core set ever made. Game Master is an entirely new range of products from the Army Paint, and we're really proud and excited about what we have created for you. Therefore, we've included a small present for you, a free effect brush, as shown earlier, and a crypt upgrade kit you can use in your role-playing adventures. So we hope you enjoy your journey through the included guidebook, and hope you'll share your own creations with us on social media. Happy adventuring from the Army Painter. That's very cool of him. And there's a painting guide for the thing that I got. It is, let's unpack. Get this there, on. Okay, so we get I think it's some sort of sacrificial, it's a solid block of terrain. It looks like some sort of sacrificial altar or torture rack, perhaps. Nah, definitely a sacrificial altar. And we get a nice little wooden ladder. It's made of some sort of PVC, similar to the Mantic terrain crate kits. There's some good level of detail on them. Really nice. Then you get a little hatch and a lever for the hatch, I guess. Very cool. Looks easy to use. And then there was a painting guide on how to paint the included parts here. Cool. Then we have this how to build guide included. It's a, let's see, 21, so a 24-page manual on how to go about. Looks very nice. Now this is definitely of interest for any newcomer. I'm pretty sure this is a step-by-step on how to do. Oh, that's nice. There's some QR codes for the YouTube tutorials. Very cool. Oh look, it even includes 15mm scale model. Ah, I'm always happy to see other scales than 28 represented. Very cool. Looks very easy to do. I think I'll have a go at some of these. And then, cool. Well, there you go. How to build dungeons and caverns with the Game Master series. And there we go. The very first unboxing on this channel. And hopefully I didn't do too bad of a job of it. This is really an impressive set. I must say my initial impressions right now are very good, if not really good. But it comes with a bit of a caveat because I am not an advanced terrain builder, so I don't have access to all of the tools included at all. And I live in an apartment, which also means that I don't have a small garage to store or build the various terrain pieces either. So in that regards, this is a perfect starter set for me, for my needs. My main criticisms is that the packaging could be better because there's a lot of indentations on some of the most of the tiles, or the XPS foam tiles included, and also that there's no immediate information on what kind of batteries are required for the hot wire cutter. And let me tell you, it's C cells. I found out because Army Painter included it in the description for the hot wire cutter itself. However, what I really like is this, the how to build Dungeons and Caverns set, because Army Painter in the usual manner have distilled the whole terrain building process down to 4 parts: texture, cut, paint, and done. I love it. This makes it so much easier to get into, and I'm looking forward to, well, get building some of my own terrain. And with that said, I'm going to start building some terrain as soon as I get some batteries for the hot wire cutter. I'm really looking forward to actually start building some terrain using the components included in this set. And with these high initial impressions, I'm really looking forward to starting my new series here on this channel, where I'm going to document my progress on learning how to build terrain from scratch, and most likely include some tips and tricks that I pick up on the way that may not be included in this set. Overall, very pleased with my purchase. It's the perfect entryway for me, and also the perfect kickoff point for me to document how I go about learning to build terrain in the future. So if you want to see how I progress in my newfound quest, and also maybe see some future painting guides here on the channel, if you don't think I butchered the English language far too much, drop a like and subscribe here, and well, I'll see you again in the future.